Ladies and gentlemen, basketball fans of all ages, welcome to Legends Talk, the show where we sit down with iconic figures in the world of basketball. We delve right into their untold stories that may have shaped their legendary careers. Join us as we give these living legends the spotlight to share their experiences, their triumphs, and challenges, while offering a rare glimpse into the moments that made them the icons that they are today. Today we got a very special guest. You know what I'm saying? This dude is from Queens. Well, I'll let him tell you exactly where he's from. You know what he been matched up against. You know what I'm saying? Very humble dude, and it's a pleasure to have him up, man. Haron, H2O, Hargrave. Y'all need to tap in. Do what you gotta do. Get your refreshments. We here. Legends Talk. Tap in. Yo,
Yo,
what's up, my
yo.
boy?
Kyle, what's
How you?
good, bro?
I'm chilling, man. How you, man?
I'm good all as well, man. I can't complain, man. It's a blessing to be up here, you know what I mean? Legends talk. You know what I mean? That's crazy. Legend, young OG, whatever you want to call me. You know what I'm saying? I think
Yeah,
that, dope to be up here on this platform. Anytime that I get an opportunity to talk sports and about my history, I'm always down for it. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely, man. We here to give you your flowers, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to run into the legends thing is subjective, everybody. You know what I'm saying? In terms of being a legend, this man has played at the Division 1 level. This man has played overseas professional. You know what I'm saying? The founder of Ballin' for Peace, which we'll get into in a minute. But you know what I'm saying? There's different levels to this. You know what I'm saying? And everybody is not the legend that Sham God is or Rayful Alston is. But you know what I'm saying? In terms of being a legend, is putting that blood, sweat, and tears into your craft, man. And that's exactly what you did. So I'm honored to have you on, man. Thank you for joining us. And
Yeah.
we're gonna get right into it.
Thanks for having me, man. This is a blessing, you know what I mean? And as we grow and continue to build, the legend continues. Those stories that we have, had to do and those things that we had to overcome. A lot of people don't know. They just see the finished product a lot of the times. And they don't know, the trainings and the going to this workout and going over here and so it's a ton of mileage on these wheels and it's a ton of stories that have been untold too. So
Nah,
I'm glad that I'm up here on Legends Talk. Let's get to it.
hey, we here now. We here now.
Yes,
But
sir.
yeah, man. So like, where you from, man? For the people that don't know where you from, and how has being from there shaped the way that you live your life, man, today?
Born and raised Southside Jamaica, Queens. I'm from Queens, New York. In my area growing up, wasn't the easiest, easiest borough and easiest space to grow up in. Just kind of that crack era was just finishing up. You know what I'm saying? I remember playing ball. You got crack rocks on the floor and everything like that, and you got to sweep them up or kick them to the side and just hoop. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know no better. But at the time too, we didn't even know that we was living in poverty. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I didn't know, like, this was just my life. Like, I wasn't, I didn't live in the suburbs or anything like that. I just saw my mom work hard and do what she had to do. So I grew up in Southside Jamaica, Queens, and it wasn't easy. It was very difficult growing up in the South Side of Jamaica, Queens. 50 Cent from there. You know what I mean? Lloyd Banks, all of them, those dudes. I went to middle school with Lloyd Banks too. He used to play ball as well too. So shout out to
Yeah,
Chris
yeah.
too. You know what I mean?
Now, I definitely seen a picture of Lloyd Banks in a basketball jersey.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
definitely wondered, you know what I'm saying, if he was nice or what. Man, we're gonna have to gonna have to tag Lloyd Banks on one of these posts.
I will
And
tag him out and see him. You know, I was able to see him in one of his last shows at Sony Music Hall. You know what I mean? So recently, not like last year, in the last year and everything like that. But shout out to Banks. You know what I mean? Southside.
definitely, man. So shout out to Banks, 50, and the entire South Side. You know, Jamaica Queens, big Queens. That's what they say, right? That's what the kids are saying nowadays.
Yeah, big Queens. Shout out to
But
Skip too. My man Skip to my Lou.
absolutely.
You know, just text him too. I just text him today, like hit him up and say, way to, show up. You know what I mean? For Queens and everything. People be forgetting. They be forgetting about people who paved the way. You know what I'm saying? Skip is
Facts, man. You gotta show the respect to the forefathers, man. To the guys that really, paved the way for us doing our thing now.
For sure.
But like, who introduced you to the game of basketball, man? And when did you realize that you wanted it, to be in your life forever?
It was early stuff for me. My mother used to run basketball tournaments when I was very little. She used to have her basketball tournament in St. Albans Park in Queens, New York. And Mark Jackson used to play my mother's tournament. Anthony Mason, God rest his soul. They had Supreme Team playing in the joints back in the days and everything. So my mother was very in the loop when it came to basketball. I don't know if she played or not, but I can't, I never seen my mother play basketball, but I know she was pushing tournaments and stuff like that. So a lot of the stuff that I got from my mom as well too. We could go on that a little bit later, but my mother introduced me to basketball. I was about 3 years old. I remember playing in my first tournament. I was 7 years old. It was a tournament in Baisley Projects. It was called Bake, Brothers Against Killing Each Other. I remember that to this day. I remember I had a black and white shirt. I actually found the picture not too long ago, I took a picture of it too. I got that, but it stood for Brothers Against Killing Each Other, and that was the first tournament I played in. So my mother introduced me to the game, and I pretty much never put the ball down, man. Like when I was a young man, just grinding and just loving the game. You know how like you find something that you like. It's probably people try to tell you, oh, go play baseball, go play this, play that, and basketball was just a love, like a love at first sight, you know what I'm saying? So my mother was the one who put the ball in my hands.
Man, that's tough. That's tough, man. You know what I'm saying? Having your mom, usually it's the men that want their
he was a boxer. He used to box in Golden Gloves and stuff like that. My father, his nickname was Duke because he used to knock people out and everything like that. So they called him Duke. And he, so he was out in Hollis, Queens and everything. He tell me different stories. I remember you hear these things and it's like, yo, is this hearsay? What the hell is this? But I remember they said like my dad, they used to throw a hat in the air and he had to like pop and like knock somebody out before the hat fall and catch the hat and then put it back on. I'm like, yo, this feels crazy, but enough people told me that he used to do that, and he was 18-0 in Golden Gloves and got in trouble and went away, but and then he came back and all that, but he was really into boxing. So my mother was the basketball, my pops was in the boxing. That's why sometimes you'll see me and I'll be doing some sparring and boxing a little bit, but that's mainly because of my dad.
Right. Now, did you ever? I'm saying I'm pretty sure you got a chance to participate in the tournaments that your mom, threw or whatever, or hosted. When was the first time?
I really didn't get to play in them because by the time I was, when I was 3, she was doing them, but she was doing them way before that, like way before, like in the 80s and all that other stuff. So when I was a little guy, that's when I remember seeing, you know what I'm saying? That's the first time I remember having a basketball in my hands and everything. And I remember my mother used to have tournament like trophies, leftover trophies up in the attic and everything. So I used to see this stuff all the time, but I wasn't able to play in my mother's tournament. She did it for the adults. It was like an unlimited tournament, you know what I'm saying? So and it was like big time games in South Side and everything like that. So it wasn't for the bit. It wasn't the biddies, you know what I'm saying? But my first tournament was Bake. I didn't really, play too much AAU basketball. I played a little bit with Riverside. I remember that, but that was all came my senior year in high school. Yeah, I didn't really get to tap in that much with AAU as a young kid. You know what I'm saying? So I took the long route. My route was insane.
Man, we gonna walk right through that. You know what I'm saying, in terms of that route that you took, man. At least, I'm pretty sure you got a bag, man. You was at Riverside long enough to get a bag.
I got the Hulk bag. Yeah, you already know the blue and
that's all that matters. That's all
bag,
that matters.
Yeah. You got the drawstring bag. I seen somebody with that bag recently, and he still had his bag. I'm like, yo, bro, you can't wear that. That's iconic. You can't wear that bag no more. Like, it's all ripped up and stuff. Like, yo, bro, leave that for the archives. You feel me? But I got that bag. Yeah.
No, that's a fact, man. I think I was at Riverside one day, man, long enough to get a bag, and I was out of there, man.
That bag, bro, you good, bro. Look like, you know what I'm saying? Especially you go from Queens to Riverside, and you come back to Queens with a bag from Riverside, you elite. You know what I'm saying? You elite. Get that Riverside bag, man. It's different money over there. You know what I
mean? Facts. Now, when did you know what I'm saying? When did you? Well, first of all, before we jump into your high school career, that's ironic that you mentioned that tournament Bake, and with respects to you starting up your own initiative. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to kind of put that out there real quick. How fast forward all of those years later, you have your own initiative that's geared towards violence and things like that. So salute to you, man, for that. But take me through like your high school, your high school journey, man. You went to Campus Magnet High School.
Yeah.
How did you know what I'm saying? How did that start off for you in terms of your basketball career? And how did you kind of develop into a standout player in the city?
So I again, my route was different, man. So I used to play with a guy named Mike Joseph, and it was called the Jamaica Warriors. And my guy Mike, he used to Mike Joseph used to I met him playing in the park. You know what I'm saying? And I remember we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have cell phone back then, but he used to say, I'm gonna call you around this time. So say it's like 6:00. And I used to wait at the house and by the phone to wait for his call, like for my games for the weekend and stuff like that. So say he'll call me on Friday around 6:00. So I used to have to wait at the crib at around 6:00 when Mr. Joseph would get off, and he'll call me, and then I'll go play at Roy Wilkins Park and stuff like that. And he'll have me in different tournaments like Almighty Force and stuff. So but it was like that. It was like coaches would see you, you would tap in, like, they'll tap in with you, and then they'll get your home number, they'll call you, and then you had a game. And then I remember, when I was younger and growing up, I used to play like 5-6 games in one day. I used to ride my bike. I used to be at Utopia Park. I'll be at Africa Park. I'll be at Montebello Park in Bello tournament. I'll be at Roy Wilkins Park playing in the Metro Swoosh tournament. So we were like independent little guys, you know what I'm saying? Now all these guys got their parents driving them to games and stuff like that. We ain't had it. We didn't have that at all. So like when it was me, I have my bike, you know what I'm saying? Fuel up in the morning, get some breakfast or something like that. If you could get some breakfast. Other than that, you were on water all day. You know what I'm saying? Just playing in all these tournaments. But the guy named Mike Joseph, Bob Dawson. I played in one of the other first tournaments that I played in was base. It's still around. A guy named Charles Coleman. He had this tournament. I played in there when I was 8 years old. And Mr. Coleman, I actually had honored him at one of the Bowling for Peace events. I got him a BET write-up and everything because he's been doing stuff in the community for over 40 years. He's actually the person who gifted us the rims to gift to Springfield High School, where we do our holiday classic. Got two brand new rims and everything. So shout out to Charles Coleman. I've been playing in his tournament since 8 years old, bass. And then I used to remember playing with Coach Lance, NYC Superstars. Yeah, man, the tournament days that's what really got me going. I remember I would say if I had a bad day or a bad game somewhere, I'll go into one of the weaker tournaments and get like 50 and get my morale back up and shit like that. But yeah, all those coaches were pillars to helping me become the person that I am. And yeah, so like I would say all those tournaments, Metro Swoosh, just man, all of these tournaments that we played. It was a ton of tournaments that really got you going. You know what I'm saying? And there was matchups that you had to, it was a lot of the older dudes playing back in the days too. When I crossed over to that pro-am, I started playing that when I was about 17 years old too. But yeah, it's a lot.
Word,
and not
word.
to mention, sorry, Coach Tippy too, but I met him a little bit. I met him at the end of my senior year. So this is just before I went into high school, all those tournaments.
Salute to Coach Tippy, man. He's an absolute legend in the game, man, and he's been around for a long time. He's helped a lot of people, and definitely salute to him. But in terms of your like the time frame, just so that we can get a little bit of a understanding of what kind of players kind of made up the landscape at the time that you were coming up. What other players around, in the city were kind of sprouting up in their, on their own rights as elite ball players that you were able to, find out about, through word of mouth or whatever the case may be.
So in my era, we had like Japheth McNeil. He was at Christ the King, Japheth. I remember like Yada was like a year, Sunday Yada Games, he was like a year younger than I was as well too. He wound up making it to the league and going and playing with the New Jersey Nets at the time too. Marlon Smith, these guys was really rocking and rolling at the time. So yeah, it was that era. Those guys, Quincy Doobie, he came on a little bit later as well too. But Gary Overton, he's old. He's a little older than I am. But again, all in this area. That's where those are the guys coming up in the city during that time, and those are the guys that you kind of like looked at and wanted to kind of because you hear like it wasn't social media back then, so you hear about somebody having a dope game, and then you want to do that wherever you at. And again, I was playing in a lot of tournaments, and a lot of these guys were playing at this time where we're like 14, 15, 16, around that time. I think it was more tournament driven. It was tournament led during that time. But those are some of the guys that during my era, and I'm sure I'm leaving out a lot of people. Cliffy, Dion Merritt, Cliffy, Quincy, and Cam Tyler. These are the people that was around my era. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's tough. That's tough. You mentioned, going to tournaments and literally playing all day.
All day.
That was the culture of New York City at the time, where your parents, you left at 8 in the morning. You probably didn't come home till 12 midnight or something like that. So you're literally gone all day. You played in 5 different leagues and maybe played against some guys in the hood. You probably had to run up out of there once or twice.
Yeah, I literally just talking about that with one of my mans. We had we got like I think it was either in the Bronx. I was in the Bronx playing with my guy Bob Dawson. I was like in the 10th grade, and we smacked some team from the Bronx, and dudes in the crowd just talking crazy. Like make another basket, nigga. I did all this crazy stuff. I'm like, bro, we playing basketball. Like, what you mean make another basketball? We literally in the middle of the project. I can't remember where I'm at. But we won that game and we sprinted, bro. We sprinted. These stories are crazy, and it's like almost like, yo, how did these really happen? Like, why we getting ran out of like tournaments? Like, it was crazy. We got ran out of a tournament fortunately, we all was able to get to the train. And it was wild. I can't remember. I can't remember who was that because it was like, back in the day, these people, different tournaments, you don't really know who they are. You know what I'm saying? Especially you come from Queens playing in the Bronx tournament. You don't know who's who. You know what I mean? So it was like the hood. It was us against the hood, man. Those stories are true. But yeah, that was wild. And mostly back in the days, they used to be what was it? That it used to be like a write up. Mr. Kelly used to rank the players and stuff like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but you wanted to be on the write up with Mr. Kelly. I can't remember what it was called, but he used to rank players and he was like, "Yo, how you ranking me? You never even see me or so." You know what I'm saying? Like, but it was wild. But back in the day, it was definitely different. Now with the internet and everything like that, it's so much easier to see these players and find them, and they have it so much easier than we did back then. You know what I'm saying?
Right, absolutely, and in my opinion, is a little bit watered down because anybody could create a website and establish their own rankings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Without really doing the due diligence that it took, like I say Tom Kachowski or somebody like that to
Nate
really.
Blue. Shout out to Nate Blue.
Nate
Real
Blue,
shout. Yep. Shout out to Nate Blue. He used to.
Nate Blue for real.
He had Charlie Villanueva. He coached. He had what's the boy Maurice Harkless. He
He's a legend for sure. Nate Blue's a legend for sure in this city.
Shout out to Nate Blue, man. Big Queens.
Salute. But who gave you the? Well, I don't know. We fast forwarding, but in terms of getting the name, man, H2O, that's a pretty unique name. Who gave you that name, and what does that nickname mean to you?
That nickname means New York. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a if you're playing New York City street ball and you don't have a name, that means you're like 9 times out of 10 you ain't really nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get a name, it's like it becomes your identity. So that name came from when I got back from playing overseas in Romania. I remember I was playing at Hoops in the Sun Spring League, and Uncle G Stacks from Hoops in the Sun. He every time I touched the ball, he was saying H2O, H2O. I came back, I had 57 points. I played against Bingo All-Stars in a Hoops in the Sun Spring League, and I hit 12 threes. And every time I touched it, he like H2O, H2O. And it just stuck. And Taz, Marquise Noel's dad, he also was calling me H2O heavy and got that name put over the edge. And that's something I started playing with Team Kingdom as well too, and that's where the whole thing with Dykeman and everything happened as well. But my name came from Uncle G Stacks, from Hoops in the Sun. So shout out to G Stacks. I always give him his props, man. That's he always say you're his favorite nephew. You know what I mean? That's it. You get that award, his favorite nephew. So I always just try to get them favorite nephew awards as well too. Shout out to Hoops in the Sun, Joe Cruz, Randy Cruz, and all those guys. And shout out to everybody, Honcho over at Kingdom and everything like that too. Those are the pillars of H2O becoming not just from Queens and everything, but just like being over in the city, wilding out. Because I always did my thing. I used to play with Coach Tippy, and I started playing pro-am since I was 17 years old.
Wow.
Shout out to TMP. I used to play with TMP as well too from Queens. We win everything and we won everything. And people, I was the young guy on that team, so people used to not try to give me my props. So it's still like they don't even. Some of the people don't add my championships. I pretty much won everything in New York City, but I won it so early at a young age. It was like, who won chips in the league so young, and then like kind of they didn't win much of the championships later on. I'm trying to think of a player who got their ring and got it out the way, got their couple of rings out the way in the league, but and then didn't really have too many big championships later on. They kind of, I don't know. I know that like even with Bill Belichick, he had won a ring out in 2004 and didn't run another one until 2014. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So like, but that happens, you know. But I won a lot with TMP, Coach Tippy, playing with some of the best guards, like me and Smush Parker playing, me, Jarrell Blasson game. I met, you know, so many dope players. I played with Charles Jones, Sharif Fordham, and TMP, S-Class, Jay Ha. You know what I'm saying? These guys are legends, man. You know what I mean? My boy Randy, T2, you know, Sha Mack. You know, TMP was loaded, man. Yo, and even Junie Sanders, the super legend. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when street ball was like, you had to pay your dues.
Right.
I remember being the Division I leading scorer. I led my team in scoring at Sacramento State. I'm the leading scorer, and I'm still coming off the bench. I'm still coming off the bench like it's protocol. Like, yo, you ain't pay your dues. You gotta, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
And
I
it's
remember
understood.
Charles Jones to tell you this too. I remember the game. I had a breakout game. We played against Skull Gang inside of Gauchos because it was raining. It was a tri-state game. I think it was tri-state, and we played against Skull Gang, and they had it right there. You know, it used to be on 145th.
Yeah.
The rain site was at Gauchos Gym, and we were short some players, and I'm like, yes, so that I can go and go, wow. And Charles Jones will tell you, ask CJ, I had 24 points against Skull Gang, and that was one of my breakout games, and that kind of helped me project into, the player, one of the players that I became, But shout out to TMP because they helped groom me until I got ready to lead my own teams. And that's when
Right.
I got the name H2O shortly after that. But I was playing street ball for quite some time before that, and just doing it the right way. You know what I'm saying? Until I remember I left, and all this stuff is online too. You can see this game. I remember I had the grudge match against them. I had 38 points against TMP in the semifinals to go to the Dykeman Championship. It went into overtime and everything like that. You know what I mean? It was
Everything
a
is
crazy
documented too.
it's
Everything is documented.
all documented. That playoff run that I had, and the 09 championship helped leading Team Kingdom to the championship. Shout out to my guy Quan, God rest his soul. You know what I mean?
Man.
He was
Rest
a
in
black.
peace, my man Quan, man. That's my guy right there. Foster Project's finest. My guy, rest in peace, Quan, man, for real.
Shout out to T-Rex too. T-Rex was in the loop with us too. The battle rapper T-Rex, man, he was tapped in with Quan. He used to come to the games, and that's why a little bit later on, that's how I was able to tap in with T-Rex and have him coming to my first ever Ballin' for Peace games and everything like that. But I want to go a little bit backwards too. My high school career, I only played 1 year high school basketball. People don't realize that. They don't understand how tough it is to play 1 year high school basketball and let alone make it to Division I and then lead your team in scoring and break records and all that other stuff. But
Walk me through that, man, because that's amazing. That you only played 1 year of organized high school ball to land at a Division I school. How'd you know what I'm saying? How'd you accomplish that?
It's low key unheard of. Especially, I'm not a 7-footer. I'm not somebody who meets the eye test and beats the eye test, right? I always had to show and prove myself. I always, even now, my name don't be mentioned a lot at all, and it's crazy because I put in more work than a lot of these people. I know people who went to D1 and averaged 1 point, and they get more praise and more shout outs and everything like that. I think that's because
we all know a couple of those, man.
Yeah, like it's a lot of us. From me being from Queens, I would come to games, get 40, 50, leave, and just be gone. And I didn't have a whole entourage come with me. I didn't have anybody who's talking for me, you know what I mean, or in the crowd. So I had to create all of that. You understand? But high school basketball, played 1 year. My 9th grade year, my middle school had the 9th grade. Junior high school 72, so that's wiped out. I stayed for the 9th grade. I don't know why. My mother made me stay. It was crazy, wiped out. Junior high school 72, boom, that year's done. My sophomore year, I playing in Allen Gardens, along Allen Gardens basketball tournament. I was playing in there with Calvary Baptist Church. I'll never forget. I was playing with a guy named Alan Ray. That's his name. He was Coach Ray, and I fractured my left wrist playing in Allen Gardens my sophomore year in high school. Right before the season started, wiped out my sophomore year. Done. Junior year now, my team, I had a guy named Elvis on the team. I had my guy Devon Ray. These guys were really cooking. I broke my left arm. Broke my left arm right up here in this area.
That's crazy.
Play fighting with my guy Keith Bussey from Canarsie. Coming back from a game when I was playing with the New York City Superstars, play fighting with him. And you know those fences that the handball fence. They have the little hole, like they're not the big fence. They have like it look like chicken.
Yeah, the micro joint.
Yeah. So I grab onto the gate and I'm like holding it, like tussling like that, and he broke loose.
Oh man.
And my arm is still my arm is still on the gate, and I'm like trying to move. My arm's not moving, bro. My shit was on the gate, and I'm like, yo, this is like an out of body experience, bro. And I'm like, this can't be happening right now.
You said that was junior year?
That was my junior year. Arm broke. In the cast. I remember close to when I was out of the cast now, doing rehab and everything. I remember my doctor, and I never said this story, but my doctor wrote a note saying that I can go back because I went to business and computers in Campus Magnet. And I can go back to typing in my computer class. I forged the joint and said I could go back to playing basketball. But but that was how sick in the mind I was about playing basketball. So it was very tough to sit out all of them years, bro. Like, and then only have my senior year. So my senior year, I led the team in scoring, 18.8, 8 assists, 3 steals, couple rebounds, but I was honorable mention all city, first team all Queens. And my team we didn't make the playoffs. Nowadays everybody makes the playoffs.
Right.
But we didn't make the playoffs my senior year. So it was looking like curtains for me, bro. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't looking too good. It was me and my boy Andrew Gordon. My senior year, everybody else was freshmen and sophomores. So they didn't care because they had another year. I'm trying to get these guys to play, and it was a tough year. You know what I'm saying? We missed the game by one. We missed the playoff by one game. I remember we played against Van Buren High School, Melvin, and a guy named Melvin, and a kid named Edwin, and a guy named Jerome. And we lost that game by 1 point. And we would have won that game. We would have won the playoffs. I remember I had my North Face on at the time. At the end of the game, I'm sick, bro. I went home and literally just went to sleep on my bed with my North Face, my Timbs, everything. I woke up like 4 a.m, sweating and everything like that. It was but that's how much we put into basketball. That's how much it was just ball or nothing. It was like nothing else mattered in the world at that time. And no
plan B, nothing.
And then so that was that. And then to top it off, how I met with Tippy and everything like that was at the end of the season, I went to a wheelchair classic. They had the wheelchair classics, the tryouts and everything. So I made the team. I make the wheelchair classic. I make the team, but now it comes to report cards. You had to have it wasn't nothing crazy, like a 75 average. I didn't even have that. I didn't have that. At my accumulative grades over the time, I didn't have that, and so I didn't grade wise I wasn't able to make it, so I didn't get it. It was a guy named Sean James who works with Tippy at the time, and he told me about the Big Apple games that Tippy does. And I had to come down to the Bedford Y, and so he can see me. So
Right.
I'm on a call with him, and he, hey, what's going on, whatever. And then I come down, and I came down, and I told him what I wanted to do. I told him I wanted to play Division I basketball. Man, only playing 1 year high school basketball, not having who's looking for you, no grades, no nothing. But I remember telling him I wanted to play Division I basketball. And
So at this time, you had 0 schools looking at you, no recruiting and nothing like that?
so my grades wasn't good. Anybody who had leads to want to get me, it wasn't looking good. You know what I'm saying? People knew me from tournaments, but again, injuries, it was crazy, bro. So I could have easily been wound up at a York College or something like that, or, a Division III school, because of it wasn't normal to take this route and to do it like that. But I had so much determination and in me, and wanting even the drive to get back and play my senior year and everything like that. And I told him, and I was there every day. I would leave from school in Queens, go to the Bedford Y every single day leading up to that joint. And then I didn't want to go. I was trying to go to prep school. It didn't happen. I was gonna go Cushion Academy, and
Shout out to that knapsack, man.
Yeah.
Cushion Academy.
Yep. So and then so I was looking at that. Didn't happen. Wound up having to go to I didn't want to go JUCO either. So I told Tippy, because I didn't want to start my college clock, because I felt like I was at a disadvantage. I only played 1 year high school basketball. I wanted to run it back and at least get another year under my belt, go to prep school, and it didn't work. So my aunt at the time, God rest her soul, my aunt Sharon, she told me to go to Sullivan Community College. So I went to Sullivan Community College, upstate in Loch Sheldrick, New York, and I went there on Labor Day, because all of the junior college that I had, school already started. I Tippy's trying to get me in the junior college, and I'm like, I don't want to go, but that was it at that time. So I went to Sullivan. I didn't go with the coach knowing me or nothing. It was on some, you got to go somewhere, because you're not just gonna stay home. You got to go somewhere. So I went up to Sullivan, and I remember this like it was yesterday, bro. Like they didn't even have a jersey for me in the team on the pictures. They didn't. They had a warm up joint that was like a 5X pullover.
The shit was probably too big,
old and beat up. And I'm like, what? How am I gonna make the team? It's dudes coming from jail. It's 28-year-olds there and stuff like that, bro. I'm like 17, 18, fresh out of high school. And this is my experience, bro. So I remember doing that, overcoming that. I make the team, and it went from me not being on a team to leading the team in the playoffs, making first team all Mid-Hudson and everything like that. Leading Sullivan, my coach Chad Beaton, who I still talk to this day. Shout out to Coach. He's out in Vegas. We had like a little deal. I was gonna be doing that and then going to UAlbany, and his dad was coaching over there, and he left. Coach Beaton left in the middle of the summer. Told us he was coming back, so I ended up leaving and everything like that. But I went to Sullivan Community College my first year, so I went to 1 year high school, 1 year at the Division III JUCO, but they're a good Division III. They're one of the best in the nation.
Right.
Not supposed to even be there to lead in the team, into the playoffs, all that other stuff. All this stuff is documented. You can Google all this.
That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah,
I mean,
so,
we here to hear the story.
People be capping. A lot of dudes be capping, bro. It's a lot of cap out there, but
we found out the hard way, man. We found out the hard way.
Shout out to all the cappers and all that too. But yeah,
to everybody, man.
Nah, but so 1 year high school, 1 year at the Division III JUCO, did my thing there. Not even gonna mention the other school that I was at, but I wound up going to matter of fact, I gotta mention this because this is the journey. The coach, MCC, in the middle of the summer, Monroe Rochester, a guy named Jerry Burns, he was the coach over there. I played against him during the regular season. I had a triple-double against him. My coach, Chad Beaton, was leaving. Coach Burns got in touch with him, wanted me. He came to my crib in Southside, met with my family, my mom, my grandmother, all this other stuff. I go out there to Monroe, Rochester. This dude, everything, supposed to be good, whatever. The Trojans, that's their name. I went out there, and Kenny Usey was out there. I don't know if you remember Kenny Usey. Kenny Usey, Darnell Cummings, my boy Andre Vanderpool, Dre. All of these dudes was out there. They'll vouch for it. And Renee Taylor, she was on a girls team. Renee Taylor, Renee's one of the best girls I've ever seen play basketball. That's a sidebar, like random. Renee Taylor, she's the GOAT. Look her up. We gotta get her on this show too. She's a living legend as well.
Renee Taylor?
Renee Taylor. Like she's her, Nikki Avery, but Renee Taylor, one of the dopest chicks, and she's very quiet, very humble. You talk about me being humble, she's even way more humble than I am. But she was out there getting 45 and triple doubles and all that, doing unheard of stuff. But she was there. So I go there. The coach it was a guy named Mike McCleskey, a freshman coming in from Syracuse. He didn't go to Syracuse. He's from Syracuse.
Right.
I used to kill this dude. Every day in practice, kill this dude. But this coach was trying to start him over me and I saw the writing on the wall. I'm like, why you get me here? Put me on scholarship. Now I'm in my sophomore year, and you trying to get this guy to start over me? It was crazy. So the writing was on the wall. I don't know if he wanted to just get me because I wowed him up last year. I don't know. I can't, at the end of the day, I can't really fathom why someone would get somebody, know what they can do, and then try to start somebody else over them. I didn't have no time for somebody trying to, play around like that. But
the politics.
And he's done this to a lot of players. My guy Mikey and everything. It's a lot of guys who he did this to, and it's crazy, But anyway, that happened. I wound up not playing no more. I said I'm not gonna play. I called Tippy. I told him I'm not gonna play here no more. I called Coach Beaton, and I had to get a hardship red shirt. That was something like you're going through stuff, mental stuff. My mother was in the hospital at the time, and it was real. But I would have played through it if I was able to play through it. But the guy was not
trying to get out of there, though.
Yeah, so I had to get a hardship red shirt that he didn't help me with. So I had to go to the baseball coach and get this done. It was the baseball coach. He had to, because these baseball players, they do this all the time, like these red shirts and all that, and gray shirts and all that. I didn't know. But he was the one who put the paperwork in for me. I can't remember his name, but I can see his face right now. And he helped me out. The coach Tim from the girls team, he helped me out. So I put in this paperwork. But now you don't know if it's going to go through or not until the following year anyway. So you're sitting out, and you could potentially just be losing your year for nothing. So I did that. I'm working out with the football team. My boy, working out with players from the football team just to stay in shape. I'm playing in intramurals basketball tournaments at the school. And I did all that stuff just to stay in shape and stay, aware. And I did it. I wound up getting an opportunity to go play back in the Big Apple sports thing with Tippy in spring. I was getting ready for that. Coach Mike Miller wanted me to come out there and everything. I went out there to Cali afterwards. That didn't work out. So now it's like, yo, is it you? I got those self-doubts. Like, is it me? Because what's happening? I did something.
What's going on? Is the problem me? Did I do something wrong?
So Coach Miller wants me now. I go out to California. But this guy was crazy. It's 120 degrees outside, and he got the heat on. He wound up getting fired. It was a whole scandal thing going on with this dude too. But I told him, Jarrell Blasingame went there. He went to LA City.
Right. Okay.
So I was like, Tippy was like, Jarrell did it. You can do it. I'm like, I'm not Jarrell, and I don't have to do that. So I'm not gonna go and practice in the heat when people are passing out because this guy got the heat on. We're in Cali. It was crazy. And
don't tell me what somebody else did.
Don't tell me what somebody else is. But he's like, yo, okay. So, but you're not coming back to New York until you get a school. So I was playing in preseason games in the summertime. A guy named Wendell Westbrook. He was the assistant coach, black guy, Wendell Westbrook. He used to coach. When he coached, it was amazing. It was great. I used to kill some. It was the preseason. The head coach can't coach. But Mike Miller, I did not want to play for him. So, the coach, Coach Klein from Chafee in Rancho Cucamonga, California, had me. He heard about me. Tippy told him about me, but he also heard about my games and everything like that in the summer league. And I wound up going to Chafee for a workout. I had to not come to practice for LA City and go up to Rancho Cucamonga, California on the train and everything like that. And went out there, worked out. The first workout was horrible because I'm so now I'm in this system with Coach Miller playing like a robot, and we're playing just open run over there at Chafee. And Coach Klein like, yo, I thought you was a shooter and this and I'm playing screens, pick and rolls, and putting my thumbs in my ears because I'm for the read. And he's like, yo, I don't know what's up. So he called Tippy and he's like, I don't know what's up with this guy. So Tippy's like, give him another chance. And so I went back out there, still staying at LA City, but not going to practice, still staying in there. We had like an apartment that all the players stayed in.
Okay.
And, so I went there. I watched mad Allen Iverson footage. I went back out there, killed it. And wound up being the starting point guard, led them in scoring, led them to the Elite Eight, which is the furthest they've been in school history at the time. I remember beating Long Beach City, and everything like that. They had a couple of Division I players, and we wound up losing a Saddleback in the Elite Eight in the California playoffs. And then I got my full ride to Sacramento State, where I led them in scoring and everything like that. And Sacramento State is the only school that I played at for 2 consecutive years. My junior year, I was runner-up for newcomer of the year, and my senior year, I wound up leading them in the Big Sky Conference and scoring, broke the 3-point record. I still hold that to this day. Made 9 against University of Denver. I broke the steals record. I had 9 against the University of Illinois State, the Cardinals. Wow. And man. So and I led them in scoring, man. And people can't take that away from me. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, you had a very untraditional, route, man. And quite frankly, what made you keep going, man? When the chips were stacked against you, when the coaches politics was stacked against you, and things weren't going your way. And even that call to Tippy saying, "Hey, what's up with your guy?" You know what I'm saying? Those things are demoralizing and could really, really kind of destroy somebody that has a weak morale or a weaker kind of self-esteem. So how did you kind of persevere through those kind of that turmoil and those kind of things to playing professional in those overseas countries that you played in?
It wasn't easy, bro. It wasn't easy, man. Like days you wake up like, yo, is this, is it gonna happen? Even becoming a Division I player. You know what I'm saying? That route wasn't traditional at all, like you said, bro. Like to play Division I basketball and not be like a top recruit and all this other stuff and always having to prove yourself, it can get tiring. But that was just me. I loved to play basketball and I was good at it. And so, I put in the work. I used to work out 2 and 3 times a day, man. It was about that grind, that pain, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't have anybody. I didn't have somebody like waking me up to go and do this stuff. It was self-motivation, self-determination. You know, it was all I had. You know, I didn't want to go back to Southside. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't nothing there. And I forgot to mention my sophomore year at Chafee, my mother had passed away in December.
God bless.
Passed away December 11th. You know, and I had to fly back. I remember getting that news. It was crazy, bro. Like, you know, so I had to contemplate, am I gonna go back to school? Like, what's actually happening? Like, your mother, that's the biggest loss that you could have in your life. So even as this perspective of, you know, just a human and a man and just everything else, I lost the biggest loss that I could possibly have. So now my determination is even more. Like, you live in life with no fear because you lost something that, you know, that's the biggest fear that a man has, is losing his mom. You understand? Like, so I lost my mom at an early age. So there was really nothing else that I feared. You know, before that, I used to be superstitious, walk on the crag, break it, all this other stupid stuff, like black cats. I lost my mother. So it's like, what else? You know what I'm saying? I'm not superstitious no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a damn about none of that. There's nothing to be afraid of, because the biggest loss that I had was my mom, and I lost her. You know what I'm saying? So that I turned that into a positive. I turned that into making me, you know, drive me even more, because I want to make my mother even that much more proud. You know what I'm saying? I pray to my mother, I pray to the Lord, but I also pray to my mom. And that's something I do every morning. I pray to my mother, you know, and that she give me the strength to continue to go and keep pushing and keep going, because it's not easy. It's hard, especially like not even on a basketball team, just in life in general. Things are, you know, we get challenges every single day, and we're supposed to just get through them. You know what I'm saying? I've done lost some of the most close people to me in my entire life, and I had to keep going. You understand? So like at the end of the day, it's all or nothing. But that's how I kind of approach life, and that's how I kind of approach everything, basketball included. But you know, losing my mom my sophomore year in college, that was tough. That was tough. I came back home, and I wanted to make her proud. So like, yo, I wound up that second half of the season. I played some real great basketball. Wound up leading the team in scoring. Made all first team Foothill Conference, and I got my Division I scholarship to Sacramento State. But you know, and you know, so that was one of my determinations to keep going, keep pushing, keep striving. You know what I'm saying? It was just like all or nothing. But when your back's against the wall, what you gonna do? You gonna show up or sit out? You know what I mean? I showed up.
Hey man, that's inspiring. May your mom rest in peace, man. I know she's, you know, as cliche as it sounds, I know she's looking down though, happy that she raised, you know what I'm saying, raised a upstanding young man into what you are today, man. So salute. Now just kind of fast forwarding a bit, man, because I definitely want to tap in to what you got going on right now. We aren't quite there yet, but definitely want to, you know, get there. But in terms of yeah, you know, you being an overseas professional at this point, right?
Yeah.
How did you get introduced to that? And you know, with respects to it being, you know, these countries being someplace new, you know, culture change, culture shock, language barriers, things like that. How did you kind of persevere and fight through those kind of things to, you know, to continue on with your career?
My first experience with professional basketball, I got drafted to the Albany Patroons and the CBA. I got drafted to the Albany Patroons, and but I'm in Sacramento at the time. Remember, me and Kobe Carl, George Carl's son, we were both drafted there. And I actually went to training camp. I made the team, but this was my first experience with how they do professional sports. I was told by my agent I got to go back to Sacramento, get up the rest of my things, and come back to Albany. I flew from Sacramento to Albany for training camp, and I had to get my stuff and come back. So the first, you know, so now I'm supposed to get my return flight. They got to pay for it and everything like that. they stopped picking up my agent's call.
Wow. That was crazy.
They stopped picking up my agent's calls. I don't know if they had the money. I don't know what it was, but I don't know what happened. But that was my first experience with professional basketball, right? So yeah, that happened. But how I got introduced to overseas, so now I'm back in Sacramento, and one of the alumni, he used to play in Romania. His name is Troy Selvey. So shout out to Troy. He connected me with the team that he used to play for in Romania, in Muric, Turka Muric, right? Romania. And he connected me with the coach, and that was my first overseas deal. Playing in Turka Muric, and it was pretty dope. So shout out to Troy. And then he kind of connected my agent with them, a guy named Fred Bessos. And we got that deal going. And then so that experience was different. It wasn't regular because you waiting on contracts. It wasn't as easy. You got the emails and stuff, and sometimes stuff be seeming like spam. I don't know if these other overseas players can attest to this. You get these emails and these contracts and stuff. It's like nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking because you don't know if you're officially going. You staying home. You don't want people to see you because they're gonna be asking mad questions like, "Yo, when you leaving H2O, right? Yo, H2O, he's still here." H2O.
Yeah,
it's like, damn, right. You don't want to play in no tournaments because you don't want to be seen. It's insane, bro. That psyche, that mindset that you got to go through, and a lot of people probably don't talk about this freely, but that shit is crazy. It's crazy. But I went to Romania 2 years, played with Gazmatan Mediaj, played with that was the second team that I played with. And I did well. My first game we had a friendly game. I had 34 points. And it was so physical though. I remember getting pushed out of the air, bro. One of my going to the basket, going up, literally 2-hand pushed me out of the air, no call. I came down court and I swung on a dude. Boom. They like, yo, hey, two teams, like the benches, came on the court and everything. Like, yo, it's supposed to be a friendly. I'm like, bro, push me in my back, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
not even in a rule board.
Yeah, bro. So I was I was a little hothead when it came down to that because they used to do a lot of illegal stuff, holding your arm, pushing you, hitting you with elbows. And I wasn't used to that. But playing street ball, that got, street ball, but ain't nobody gonna really just straight push you out of the air on some
they try to hurt you pretty much.
Yeah, so kind of like earned that respect. And when I fought back, then that was it. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't on that time no more. But overseas it was up and down, bro, because it was just some highs, lows. You don't really know what's going on. I remember I tell this story a lot because I remember there was a time we came from team dinner. First off, one of the funniest stories I ever had, ever happened in real life. I remember the team would discipline you if you disrespected the coach or something like that. They say it's 50% of your paycheck that is cut, and you're like, all right, cool, you disrespected the team. So this was the disrespect that they said though. They said the coach said to win, and y'all lost. So 50%. I'm like, what? That's crazy, bro. Like, no. So we all sat out as the Americans. We all sat out.
That's highway robbery right there.
Yeah, we all got our money. But if one of us practiced, then they would have thought that was okay. But we all had to come and stand together. And even the locals had sat out with us too to make sure that we got our money and everything.
That's not right. That's not right. Y'all trying to pull one over on these young cats, man.
Yeah. Those were some of my first experiences overseas. I played in Colombia. I did a tour in China. Played in Mexico City, Puerto Rico.
Did the money ever get funny again out there? Because that'd be the number one thing with overseas pros. sometimes I'll say, yo, the money guy, I had to, I had to do a standoff and demand my
Yeah,
money.
bro. For sure. I remember it was a little chick that I used to like, mess around, like, she whatever, like back in the days. And I remember she like held me down, bro. Like she held me down during this time until we got fully paid and compensated and everything like that. But I like one of the main reasons also my grandmother had got sick. And my grandmother was in the hospital. She had like she had a heart attack, had a heart attack and was in the hospital. And this actually when I did a filming on Ball Up. I was filming Ball Up Street Ball. I was on a reality show called Ball Up Street Ball with Bone Collector, Professor, and all that other stuff. That was around 2012. And before that, I kind of wanted to be home a little bit more, so I opted to stay home. I wasn't going overseas as much, and because I wanted to be close to my grandmother. You understand?
Right,
So like
right.
she was one of the last pillars that I had. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of like sacrificed my overseas time for to be with her.
Right.
And
Good.
so, but I remember she was in the hospital. She had a heart attack, and she was in the hospital for some time in 2012. And I was filming with Ball Up Street Ball, and out there and everything like that. And I got the news that she passed away. And so it seems like all of this stuff, all of these things happen when I'm away too. So my mother,
Right,
I was away in Cali. My grandmother, I'm away filming. Like it was my best friend Marky, who passed away when I was a senior, like at Sacramento State. All while I'm away, so I'm getting news crazy. Like people don't even understand. Like so, sometimes I don't even like to pick up the call for my family when they call me.
Quan passed away. I know that was your boy.
Quan passed away.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
I was overseas. So it was a lot of people. So that's why, like, even you see me around and stuff like that. I don't be with a whole bunch of people. Not to say like this, but a lot of people that I rocked with, like pillars in my life, they're no longer here. So it's crazy. And as you grow, you get older. You want to grow, and you want to. So I have my immediate family, my sisters, my brother, my dad. You know what I'm saying, and that's that. You know what I'm saying. So family means a lot to me. It's very, very, very close to me. You know what I mean. But this basketball journey is what I had. So that used to keep me away from all the distractions. But now the distractions are happening while I'm playing ball, and now I'm away. So it was crazy, man. That time it was crazy, man. But my grandmother used to hold me down, and she helped me become the man that I am as well today.
Nah, that's dope, man. It's super dope. Of course, family is everything, man. And like your story, I'm kind of like in the same boat. My family have pretty much all passed away too, man. And I'm an only child, so I don't even have those other siblings to kind of lean on. But
yeah,
that's neither here nor there, man. When we consider somebody family, we go hard, pause, and just kind of embrace it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm from Harlem, so I gotta say pause. You know what I mean? But now I definitely want to touch on the street ball aspect that you played in and you had a lot of success in. Now when I was coming up, in terms of me being a spectator at these different games, at these different venues like Dykeman, like Kingdom, you were prominently featured on these teams. And I actually recently posted a game from from Dykeman. That you got your naysayers, you got your people that whatever the case may be, they had some things to say.
I saw a comment saying I cost us the game. I'm like, how how the hell did I cost them the game in that championship? I brought us to the championship.
Well, first of all, who are some of the people that was on your team in that game? And like, just for context, who are some of the people that played against you in that game as well as on your team?
So I like to go back leading up to that championship game. I had to battle so many people, and it's all, you can go back and go look it up. You can say H2O, Kingdom versus Skull Game, Kingdom versus TMP, Kingdom versus, we played again Dave and them dude, a body snatch. So hold on. I had echo.
Yeah, echo.
Yeah.
Is it my joint? You can hear it? You still hear it?
Hello.
You still hear it?
Yeah.
Still hear the echo?
Hello. Nah,
Yo.
Yeah.
You can still hear it?
No.
All right.
So leading up to that, I led us through a lot of tough matchups. We beat Body Snatchers, Dave Seegers, 30 ball. Skull Gang killed them. Going to and it's, you can look at the game. Like, it's not something that is footage you can go to. And TMP destroyed them. And
now be careful. Hold on, Haron. H2O. Be careful, man.
No, this is facts. This is all facts.
Skull Gang, those my guys too, and they could see this. So I need this to be actual.
They will see this. Look, they will see this. And I'm not a person. I'm gonna say I did it when it counted. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who talk about stuff that they did, or they're still trying to do, or they're gonna kill this person now. I did it when it counted. You understand what I'm saying? Like, when everybody trying to go D1, everybody trying to push to that next level, and they didn't either they didn't make it, or they wasn't, it didn't happen for them. I did it when it counted. So that's what I'm gonna say. You can pin that. When it counted most, I did it. I made sure that I was, I was on top of my game, and I took street ball by storm. I gotta show this. This is the Bounce magazine the first tournament of champions. That's me. Who this young guy right here? That's me right here, right on the team with TNP. All of them. You see Sharif Fordham. You see T2 up here. T2. You know what I mean? God rest his soul. Jay High. All of these guys. Sha Mac. I was the young boy on TNP winning these chips. Right?
Yeah, you got the memorabilia.
Dykeman Championship. My name is on there. Haron. You know what I'm saying? Before they was calling me H2O. I still got this, Kenny. Anytime that I walk in Dykeman, Kenny, like, champion, 2-time champion, they gotta respect it. You know what I'm saying? They gotta respect it. I did it when it counted. I left. Put some respect on that. I'm from Queens. We came to games solo and dolo a lot of the times. But when I playing street ball, that leading up, I left TMP. I left winning these championships because I didn't want to feel like a KD. I didn't want to feel like a LeBron when he went to, Miami and everything like that. I didn't want to feel like that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want a team. I didn't want to have a super team. I wanted people to know what I can do as well too. At this time, I'm the leading scorer in Division I. I'm leading Sacramento in the Big Sky Conference. I'm the leading scorer and still having to play a role. Now everybody named Monica, you just get a team and you play in all these street ball tournaments. It's not the same at all. So for me to earn my name, H2O and all that leading up, it was crazy. You understand what I'm saying? So, and you can go back and watch these games. Too bad I don't have too much more of this footage because, it was a guy named Sherm. He used to come and film these games and everything like that.
Yeah.
And he put them up and he used to give you the game, I think like $5 and everything like that. And we used to grab the game, the CDs. I still got a lot of them junks. But shout out to him. I don't know where he's at nowadays, but It was a lot of.
If I could find some more footage, man, that
It's up
leans
there.
into.
It's on. You just Google it. You put it. It's on YouTube. You H2O. You say Kingdom versus Skull Game. Kingdom versus Body Snatchers. Kingdom versus TMP. It's all up there. And
who are some of the people that were on your team and that you played against at that time?
So on my team, the original team was me. It was oh man, Edis. Remember Edis? You know Edis? Big Edis.
Shout out to Edis.
He was on that team, but he was a young boy. He used to set mad screens for me. Edis still, he's still, that's my guy, man. I love him to this day. World Premiere, it was me and World Premiere in the backcourt. Was a dangerous back because World Premiere would guard anybody. I remember we played against Corey Fisher, all of them dudes, Kemba Walker, and then Kenny Satterfield came on the team. So it was me, World Premiere, K-Sat. He just passed away too. Big dude. TP. That was my big. R.I.P. TP. And we had my man Roberto. They called him the Fly Swatter. He used to play with me. And he played at Manhattan. That was who started. It was me, World Premiere, Kenny Satterfield. He was like, our OG, TP, and the Fly Swatter. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't Kareem Reed play on that team too?
So Kareem Reed came in the semifinals. He pulled up. I don't know how to. Honestly, I don't know. He'll tell you.
You know how that go. You know how that go.
Yeah. So now it's the end of the summer. Trying to win a chip. I've never done that. Yeah, I've never done that. Even in my older years, I never did that and jumped on a team at the end of the tournament to try to. I never done that. Never done it. Never will do it because it kind of takes away from the people who really got the people there that entire time. Nobody expected us to go there. They didn't expect King Dome to go there. But Kareem Reed, I think he was at the game. I think he was just chilling at the game too. And it suited up for us in the semi. It was yeah, like yo Reem here. You can even hear it on the tape, yo Reem. And so he played, bro. And
so we got this extra jersey.
World Premiere, we all playing at the same time with TP. Now TP is out big only. Now if you look at the game, it was crazy. So that was our starters, bro. And that was so that's that game. So you want to go into the championship game, or you want to go some of the people that are we beat?
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, this is your story, man. So you know what I'm saying. Whatever it is that championship or throughout the summer or whatever the case may be.
So that summer was a hot summer for me, and I think that summer. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. I think I should have got Nike Player of the Summer that year. I didn't have, but they said I didn't have a regular team in Pro City, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't get it. Pro City back in the days, you could only have 10 guys. It was it was very, it was only not 10 guys. There was only a certain amount of teams in there. It wasn't for everybody, And if you had your team, you had your team. It was super politics. Now Pro City is oh God, they're letting anybody play in there. Anybody get a team. It used to be Nike won. It was prime time. It was super dope. It was Nyack. They would have a team, but it was you had your core players. That was pretty much it. But that particular summer, I was everywhere. I did it in all the Nike tournaments. I'm in the Hoops and the Suns. I'm in the Westfall. I'm in the Dykeman's. I'm in, all over, wowing. You know what I'm saying? And when it came to Dykeman was, big time, right? So I took pride in that. I played in Kingdom. We took that. I took pride in Dykeman. The first round, I think it was the Body Snatchers, Dave Seegers. We beat them. We played Skull Gang. They had the Magician. remember they called him the magician. Can't remember. But he was on the team, and also A Butter was on that team too. They had blue uniform. That was Skull Game. We beat them. Then in the semifinals, we played against TMP. That was a grudge match. It was tight because I left them, and then I went up against them, and we smoked. It was a tough back and forth game. So if you want, I expect you. If you go and watch that game against TMP, you're gonna be like, damn, this dude.
Nah, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back and with a fine tooth comb and kind of go through these games and see who was who and what was what.
I had to go against, that was TP was on that team, Sharif Fordham, S Class, J Ha, Randy, Charles Jones. They was all Chris Grant, Shaw Mack, and it was intense. It was intense because they was like, yo, who the fuck you think you are? Da da da. Nigga, we go. You know what I'm saying? These are like my big brothers now, but now I'm on the other side. So it was a little different, and Dog, God rest his soul, Coach Duke. I love them dudes, man. Those were my people. They got me out into the street ball game, you know what I'm saying? But I had to go, you know what I mean? I had to go. And
salute to them, man.
Yeah.
I want to touch on something real quick in terms of your, what you've been able to do after the ball stopped bouncing, right? Your balling for peace initiative, right? Mm-hmm. It is a stand up thing that you put together. In terms of trying to help out with what's plaguing our inner cities in terms of gun violence and things like that. Can you talk to us about what actually motivated you to start Balling for Peace, and how has it evolved over the years that you've been running it?
So what made me start even the peace movement was when my best friend Mark Arrington had got killed in Hollis, Queens. I wanted to do something positive, so I started doing something called Queens Week, Queens Day, basketball tournament. We used to give out $1,000 to the winning team, and this tournament still goes on to this day. Now it's called Queens Week, and me and my guy Dave Buckner, we started that, and we had so we kind of stopped it for a little bit, and during 2014. That year, 2014, 2015, the whole Mike Brown and Eric Gardner situation happened and everything like that in 2014, and all these senseless acts of violence that was happening in New York and all over the world. So I wanted to do something positive. And what do I know? I know sports. I know basketball, and I know sports brings people together. So we started Balling for Peace. The message is peace through sports. Our first game that we had was at Baruch College. We did a celebrity charity basketball game, and we had Mac Wiles, Lil Mama, Fred the Godson, God rest his soul, Math Hoffa. I had a lot of battle rappers because back in the days when I was playing ball overseas, I used to watch a lot of battle rap on YouTube. That was they were like Cortez, and you know what I'm saying. So these were like my celebrities. I had Steph Lover and Kel Spencer. They were the hosts for the event. Jim Jones. Sorry, I missed out my man Jim Jones. DJ Just, DJ G, everybody came out. It was star-studded. So many people came out that I had to do. So many people wanted to play that I had to do 2 celebrity games. Shout out to my boy Graf as well too. I'm missing a lot of names, but you could go back and look at that. A lot of the footage is up there as well too. Murder Mook, you know what I'm saying? But Loaded Lux.
Legends. You got all the legends there.
Yeah. So I did it like that, and I had some, can't remember everybody's name, but so many people that was involved that we had to do 2 games, 2 of them. And at Baruch College, we packed it out. I had over like close to 2,000 people there, if not more. And I did like I had my boy Graf perform at halftime and everything like that. Erica Ford and Life Camp. It was fire. But I didn't know. I thought it was gonna, I thought it was like a one-off. I didn't know that I'll be doing it here in 2024. You know what I'm saying? Still out here doing this.
Right.
And I became low key the face of peace. You know what I'm saying? Making peace cool. You know what I mean? It's cool to be peaceful. Getting Pix 11, News One, and everything like that to shine light on our inner city youth and what's actually going on, and shining light on positive stories too. So that initiative, people can go to ballingforpeace.org, support. You can always buy some gear and stuff like that. I always tell people to support with your purchase. You know what I'm saying? But Balling for Peace that's my life. That's my life now. You know what I'm saying? Like the same passion and drive that I had about playing basketball and street ball and all that other stuff is the same passion that I have about Balling for Peace. So, you can measure people by how consistent they are. Like if I wasn't consistent with this, you could tell it's cap or something like that. But bro, I pretty much made this into my life every day. I can't go one day without thinking about Balling for Peace. You know what I'm saying? Like this is my lifeline. This is what's when people talk about me, they lead with this now. A lot of people, some people don't know about the basketball side, and that's okay. But I only talk basketball. You talk basketball with me. I love it that much, and I get enthused about it because I know what I did, and I know what it took for me to do it. So now, when I created Balling for Peace, I got that same energy about what I'm doing with Balling for Peace. We just finished our Elite 32. We had 32 high schools compete in 2 days. Serviced over 480 student athletes. Gave out 2 scholarships. Over worth $5,000. Shout out to Slam. We had Slam Magazine, Pull Up. We had New York Knicks. We had Owen, which is a plant-based drink, that protein shake that Josh Hart is with, and Justin Timberlake. We had Body Armor. I went all out for this last event. You know what I'm saying? News One, Pix 11. You know what I'm saying? It was super dope.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, Whoopi Goldberg pulled up to the celebrity game in June at Lehman College. That was
How you leave that out, man? How you leave that out?
I had Whoopi Goldberg in the Bronx, bro, at Lehman, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was crazy. Like, Fresher and all these people there. But when you get someone like a Whoopi status to pull out to an event, it changes the dynamic. It changes the, it changes the mode. Like, people think they're a celebrity to a celebrity walk in. Like, you know what I'm saying? When Whoopi walked in, or when they realized that she was there, and I knew she was gonna be there. Me and her granddaughter are cool. Shout out to Amara. Like, I was at Whoopi's crib for like Memorial Day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in there like chilling, and it was cool. It was a great experience to kind of like tap in. So it was a surprise. I don't know if you watch wrestling, but like The Rock, when The Rock comes back or something like that, like people go crazy for him and everything. So it was like, it was better off to have it as a surprise than to have it as people knowing that she's gonna be there. I mean, now moving forward, now if I got that, I'll tell them that she coming through. But you also don't, when your first experience dealing with somebody like that, you want to make sure that, they feel comfortable. And she was super comfortable. She stayed to the last, the end of the game and everything. And I wound up hitting the game-winning shot at the celebrity game, bro. The game-winning 3. I had my guys.
No bodyguard, no nothing.
Nah, she didn't come with a bodyguard. So we had the security actually. My security that I had them tap in with her and make sure she was good. She was like, she was hype about the 3-point contest, the dunk contest. She right there and everything. We had systematic clearance. You know what I'm saying? That was fire. But we've been doing a lot. We got our daily school activities programs that we're doing. We got our intramural programs that we pushing out. So 2024 is gonna be really, really dope for us as well too. But yeah, I'm glad that we was able to get to talk about some basketball and kind of clear up some things as well. And that was super dope. You know what I mean? And
we
that championship game, You know, they had Kimba, they had Corey Fisher, they had Gary Irvin, they had the Glover brothers, Mike and Ant Glover. They had Cab Driver, Cabby. People forget about Cabby. You know what I mean? Jeremy Hazel. Cabby was fire. Yo, Cabby was dope too. I don't know what he had, but they had him. You know, you got to get him on this show too. Cab Driver he's a legend too, man. But they had everybody named Mama on that thing, and some fishy stuff happened that game too. We up. Game about to be over. The lights go out. It was crazy, bro. Like the lights shut out. Everybody leave. Then the ball go out.
Turn it on for it.
We like, yo, it's over. We won then. We up. We won. We ready to leave. Nah, if you leave, then. So now
they want to forfeit.
When you forfeit, hold on, the light's not supposed to come back on, but then they come back on like an hour later. We waiting around. So the thing that you don't see in that video is that we had to sit for about an hour. You know what I'm saying? They trying to get some of the fans to leave. It was crazy, bro. That great game was crazy. I remember getting a still. The whole crowd is behind you. They on top of, like, it was crazy, bro. Like,
you can't even shoot a three at that point. You can't even shoot a three.
But the first 2 plays down in that game, I went right at Kimba, right at him. First 4 points, boom, boom, right at Kimba. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not here to say, oh, I'm better than Kimba or he did. But at that time, I really felt that I was one of the best players in New York City, period. I felt like I was one of the best players in New York City. And, you know, whether people want to give flowers or not, it was a time to be had. And again, like I said, I did it when it counted. When it counted, when everything was, you know, was on me and all the eyes, and it's some people who are nervous as hell to play in front of a crowd like that.
Right.
Especially like everybody didn't know me at that time, you know what I'm saying? But it was more like, yo, you're gonna get to know me. You're gonna know who led the team or who helped get this team to this championship. You know what I'm saying? And I saw a comment. I don't know if the dude was just capping or what he was saying, but he said I lost the game because I took the shot and I missed the shot at the end of the game. No, that's not lose. That's taking initiative and being able to say, if I'm gonna win with this 3, or I'm gonna lose with this 3. And that's it. You know what I'm saying?
The fact that coach will have that confidence in you to take that shot in the first place speaks volumes to me.
100%. And they cheat. Yo, that game, they cheated us. They didn't want us to win that. They didn't want us to win that. And I'm gonna go out and say it. That would have been my 3rd chip indictment. I had already won 2. That would have been
Kimba and them won that game.
Huh? Yeah, they won. They won that game. I think they won like 1 point, 2 points. It was but it was a lot. If you watch, it was a lot of controversy in that game. And when I watched it back recently, people like, yo, they cheated y'all. Cheated us. Like, watch the game. They cheated.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it again. Whether or not, it's 25 years later. So them bragging rights is probably out the door, but we're gonna check it out, man. But yo, man, for the sake of time, we ran a little bit over. But it was, these stories are legendary stories that can't be duplicated, man. And I had a hell of a time running through some of your history, some of the things that made you who you are today. The Balling for Peace initiative. You wanted to say something?
Nah, man, just thank you for your platform, brother. It was a pleasure to, kind of go back in memory lane a little bit, trying to, just speaking about these things, because you forget about them. You forget about the grind. You forget about the stuff that you've been through. So it was cool to, re-tap in with that. Shout out to you and your platform, you know what I mean? Legends Talk, let's keep it, Legends Talk, let's keep it rocking and rolling. And I'm going to help get some more guests up here as well. You let me know who you want, and I'll get you tapped in with some people. But shout out to you. Shout out to the Legends Talk. I'm H2O. You can follow me at H2O5 on Instagram. Follow Ballin' for Peace, BALLIN, number 4 in the word peace, ballinforpeace.org for all your updated information. I'm out, bro. That's it.
Yeah, I appreciate your time, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for stopping by, man. And we'll tap in. We'll do a part 2, part 3, whatever we need to, man. You know what I'm saying? You're a good dude, and I'm happy to bring your story to light, and bring bring some people ears that may have overlooked you. Maybe they never knew who you were, but now with respects to my platform, just giving those people that really was on the ground level, putting in that work, man, giving you the time to tell your story, man, and it's much appreciated. And I hope that people get to watch it and get to know about you a little bit, that you wasn't just out here balling for peace, man, but you wanted to smoke too.
Oh yeah, for sure. That smoke was running, and that smoke was had. It was dished out a lot too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. I'll tap in with you soon, bro.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. That's all.
Appreciate it. There you have it, y'all, man. Very, very good dude. Haron, H2O Hargrave. You know what I'm saying? What else can you say, man? The dude balled on every level. Division I baller, went overseas and did it. And you know what I'm saying? Everybody has a different story, man. Everybody has a different journey. I'm glad that he came on Legends Talk to tell his story, and to he got some very poignant things that happened throughout his life and his career. And again, man, we're happy to bring that to the forefront, man. Next week, we got some people coming through, stopping by, man. Legends Talk, man. Make sure you set that notification bell. Make sure you share this interview. Make sure you comment, subscribe. Yeah, make sure y'all subscribe, man. That's number one, because the algorithm won't work unless we subscribe, y'all. So I appreciate everybody out there, man, for taking the time out. It's Cal Griffin, Legends Talk, and we out of here. Peace.